A night out at a Florida casino ended in chaos, a shooting and a social media firestorm. And at the center of it all, two of hip-hop's biggest names, Offset and Lil Tjay. What started as what seemed like a normal evening quickly spiraled into a violent altercation, leaving one rapper hospitalized and the other facing arrest. Fans are talking, social media is exploding, and the internet can't stop replaying every moment. But the story doesn't end there. From alleged orchestrations to shocking comments that ignited fan wars, every detail is more dramatic than the last, and some of it's caught on camera. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what went down that night, who said what. It all started on what should have been just another normal evening. The location was a well-known casino in Florida, a place where celebrities, tourists, and high-profile guests regularly gathered to relax, gamble, and enjoy the nightlife. The atmosphere that night was lively, loud, and packed with people moving in and out of the building. Offset had reportedly arrived with members of his group, keeping a relatively low profile as the night went on. For many people nearby, it looked like nothing more than another celebrity sighting, the kind of moment that happens often in places like this. But sometime later in the evening, the mood began to shift. Witnesses described seeing groups of men gathering near the valet area outside the casino. At first, it didn't look serious, just people standing around, talking, and watching each other from a distance. But those quiet moments didn't last long. Tension started building. Voices grew louder. Body language changed. People nearby began noticing that something didn't feel right. What started as simple eye contact and exchanged words slowly turned into heated reactions between the groups. And then the situation escalated. Within seconds, what had been a tense standoff turned into a physical confrontation. People rushed toward each other. Shouting echoed through the valet area. Bystanders backed away quickly, trying to create distance as security began moving in. Some witnesses later said the fight seemed to come out of nowhere. Others claimed it felt like tensions had already been brewing before that moment, as if something deeper had sparked the hostility. But in the middle of the chaos, one thing became clear. This wasn't just a brief argument that would end with people walking away. The confrontation continued to intensify as more individuals became involved. Security personnel tried to break things up, but by then, the situation had already gotten dangerously out of control. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get any worse, everything changed in an instant. Because according to reports, the fight itself wasn't random, and investigators would later claim that someone may have played a key role in setting the entire situation in motion. And what police say happened next would turn this confrontation into something far more serious than anyone expected. As investigators began reviewing what happened that night, attention quickly shifted to one critical moment. The moment authorities believed the confrontation may have been set in motion. According to police reports, this wasn't just a random clash between two groups crossing paths. Authorities claimed there was a specific action that may have triggered everything that followed. Reports alleged that Lil Tjay had arrived at the casino area with members of his own group. At first, nothing appeared unusual. Like many others that night, he was seen stepping out of a vehicle and moving through the busy valet area. But then, according to investigators, something changed. Police say surveillance footage captured a moment that quickly became central to the investigation. Authorities claim that Lil Tjay was seen identifying Offset in the crowd, pointing him out before moving toward him with several members of his group. That moment, investigators believe, may have been the turning point. Reports suggest that shortly after that, members of the group approached Offset and his associates. What began as words exchanged between the groups reportedly grew tense almost immediately. And according to official claims, police believe Lil Tjay may have directed members of his group to start the confrontation. Now, it's important to note, these are allegations described in early reports, and the full details are still being examined. But as those claims surfaced, they instantly changed how fans and observers viewed the situation. Because if true, it meant the fight may not have been accidental at all. Adding another layer to the situation, authorities also claim that Lil Tjay was seen holding up his phone during parts of the confrontation. Reports suggest he may have recorded the encounter as it unfolded, a detail that raised even more questions about what really happened in those chaotic moments. Online reactions came fast. Some fans were shocked by the allegations. Others questioned whether there had been prior tension between the two sides. Speculation spread rapidly across social media, with people trying to piece together what might have led to such a sudden escalation. But no matter what people believed, one thing became clear. That moment, when the groups closed in on each other, set off a chain reaction that no one could stop. Because once the shouting started, and once the physical confrontation began, the situation moved beyond control. And what happened next would turn a heated fight into a life-changing moment that no one there would ever forget. What started as a heated argument quickly spiraled into chaos, and in the blink of an eye, the situation took a dangerous turn. According to reports, during the scuffle outside the Florida casino, one of the individuals involved allegedly pulled out a firearm and fired a shot. The sound of gunfire sent the crowd into a panic, with people scattering in every direction, scrambling for safety. Offset, who had been at the center of the confrontation, was struck and immediately rushed to a local hospital. Authorities confirmed that while he was injured, the wounds were non-life-threatening, and he was later seen recovering, a relief to fans who feared the worst. Witnesses described the scene as chaotic, with shouting, running, and confusion dominating the valet area. Security tried to restore order, and police arrived quickly, but by that point, the incident had already made headlines on social media. Short clips and photos circulated almost instantly, amplifying the story and sparking a storm of speculation online. Law enforcement later emphasized that the alleged shooter was identified as an associate in Lil Tjay's group, though it's important to note that the investigation is still ongoing and details are still being verified. No charges related to the shooting have been filed against Lil Tjay at this stage, though his involvement in the lead-up to the altercation became a key focus for authorities. As the news spread, fans across social media reacted with shock, disbelief, and concern. Many couldn't believe that a night at a casino, a place meant for entertainment, could escalate into something so dangerous so quickly. Discussions, memes, and debates about responsibility and blame began flooding platforms like X/Twitter and Instagram. And while Offset was stabilized in the hospital, the tension didn't end there, because the events that unfolded in those few seconds didn't just leave physical marks. They ignited a wave of drama, accusations, and heated discussions across the hip-hop community. What had been a single argument outside a casino had now turned into one of the most talked-about incidents in recent hip-hop news, leaving fans wondering, what really triggered the gunfire, and who will be held accountable? News of the shooting spread. Attention quickly turned to Lil Tjay, who was reportedly involved in a confrontation leading up to the incident. Authorities moved fast, and shortly after the altercation, he was arrested by Florida police. The charge? Misdemeanor disorderly conduct, a fray. Notably, he was not charged with the shooting itself, but the arrest made headlines instantly. Fans and media outlets rushed to cover every detail, from his mugshot to the brief moments he spent in police custody. Lil Tjay's arrest sparked a flurry of online reaction. Clips and photos circulated widely, with fans debating his role in the incident. Some defended him, claiming he was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. Others criticized him, pointing to police allegations that he may have directed the confrontation. After posting bond, Lil Tjay was released from Broward County Jail the very next day. But the drama didn't stop there. The moment he stepped outside the courthouse, he made headlines again, this time for his words. According to reports, he publicly called Offset a rat, immediately fueling tension and igniting fan debates across social media platforms. The release and his comments added another layer of intensity to an already explosive story. Online, fans split into sides almost immediately, some defending Offset, some defending Lil Tjay, and others simply watching in shock as the drama unfolded in real time. Even outside the courthouse, the atmosphere was electric. Reporters, fans, and onlookers captured every second, and the clips quickly went viral. Every movement, every word, every gesture was scrutinized, turning a legal procedure into a media spectacle. And while Lil Tjay's release might have signaled the end of his short stint in jail, it marked the beginning of a new chapter in the story, one defined by social media wars, fan reactions, and escalating drama that will continue to dominate headlines for days. But while the public was focused on Lil Tjay's release, Offset's recovery added another dramatic twist. A moment that would shock fans and make them realize just how serious the incident had been. Just when it seemed like the chaos might settle, Lil Tjay's words reignited the fire. After being released from jail, he didn't stay silent. According to eyewitness reports and viral clips, he publicly called Offset a rat, a term loaded with accusation in hip-hop culture. Instantly, social media blew up. Fans went wild. X/Twitter threads exploded with heated debates, memes, and speculations about what the comment really meant. Some argued Lil Tjay was speaking truth. Others said it was unnecessary provocation. Either way, the comment became the spark for one of the biggest online fan wars in recent hip-hop history. Reaction videos flooded TikTok. Influencers weighed in. Memes spread like wildfire. Fans of both rappers began clashing in comments, creating endless debates about loyalty, credibility, and who was at fault that night. Some even dug into past interactions between Lil Tjay and Offset, trying to find clues to a deeper feud. The tension wasn't just online. Industry insiders speculated that the comment could have long-term effects on relationships between the artist crews. Social media chatter suggested that beef wasn't limited to fans. It could be influencing the wider hip-hop community. For many viewers, this was the moment the story truly went viral. It wasn't just about a fight or a hospital visit anymore. It was now about words, reputations, and social media influence. And while fans argued endlessly online, Offset's presence in the hospital added another layer of drama. Images of him being wheeled outside in a hospital gown, smoking a cigarette despite the incident, only fueled speculation and reactions. People couldn't help but ask, was this retaliation, a statement, or just a shocking glimpse of the rapper's personality under pressure? The rat comment had done exactly what words like that are meant to do. It divided fans, ignited debate, and ensured the story wouldn't die anytime soon. While the internet exploded over Lil Tjay's rat comment, all eyes were still on Offset, who was recovering from the shocking incident. After being rushed to a local hospital, reports confirmed that his injuries were non-life-threatening, but fans couldn't stop watching every detail. Just a few hours after the incident, images